Open mind.
Good morning.
We live, we live, we live. Welcome back,
Good
welcome back
morning.
to another episode of Open Mind. I got my guest Marcella Shaw on here today. And first off, we want y'all to like, subscribe to the page, the platform, you know what I'm saying? If y'all new to the page or anything. I want y'all to for sure follow me on all platforms. You know what I'm saying? We talk about open minded things, open minded topics. If you want to be a guest on the show, you know what I'm saying, just inbox me, DM me, and I'll get in touch with you. But today, I'm going to introduce my guest, Marcella Shaw. And let her tell herself, introduce yourself, let them know something about you.
Hello. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Well, my name is Marcella Shaw. Live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I am pretty much I'm a multitasker as far as when it comes to speaking, but I am not a person that is pretty much out there. I just like to go on Facebook and sometimes just talk, and that's it. And this is how Open Minds had, you know, noticed me on social media, Facebook. And I'm so glad that he did because I always have something to talk about.
Yep, and that's
So,
what I made this platform for, you know what I'm saying, for us to talk about. I was just bored one day. I'm like, let me make something where I can voice my opinion. I got a lot of knowledge, a lot of thoughts in my head. Let me make something where I can voice my opinion and not only me, but others too.
hmm exactly. That's what
So
I
yeah,
use Facebook for.
that's what I use it for too, man. We trying to build it up and get us a nice following, man, so we can conquer the world and change some things around.
If we can at least if I can reach at least one person, Open Minds, if you can reach at least one person.
That make me keep going. I ain't even worried about it. I ain't into it for the money or nothing like that.
No,
I'm
nope.
just into it strictly trying to get this knowledge out and embrace the people. But we made this show. I came up with this topic today. Thoughts on female intuition, like, and I got my guest here. She a female. You know what I'm saying? So I have some questions.
I
I'm
am a
gonna
woman. Okay. Most people, I'm sorry not to interrupt you. Do not lose your frame of thought. But now on my page, it's a thing with me. I don't like the female word. I know I am a woman. I know my gender is a female. But with my mentality, the way I think and the way I love myself, I love to be called. When I was a baby, I was a baby girl. And when I was a young lady, I was a young lady. Now I'm a woman. So a female, meaning that a female can be anything, or from a reptile to a mammal, amphibian. It doesn't matter. They all have genders. So I'd rather not be, I'm special. That's all. That's
I'm
it.
just gonna call you. I'm just gonna call you goddess from now on. I'll be calling females goddess. Do you like that term? Like,
I love it. I love it. How can you fight that one, huh?
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, the goddess on here today. Yeah, and I just we came up with this topic. I had looked at a couple of your videos on your page, and I see how you just share your thoughts. I'm like, and I see how you a little wise. You know what I'm saying with your knowledge. So I was like, okay, let me invite her to the platform and see what she know about female intuition. Like, you know what I'm saying? So what is female intuition for the first question?
A woman's intuition would be something that's a feeling. It's more of a telepathy type of thing. When you have the ability, for one, you have to be blessed with that extra sense. Have to be blessed with that one. And without that, there is no intuition as far as a feeling, a gut feeling, you knowing something that's not present right in front of you at that time. Okay, an example is it's a feeling you can actually feel it. It's in your gut. That's why they call it the saying is a gut feeling. It's because you can actually feel it from your gut and all the way up into your chest. And it's like, okay, have you thinking, and then within that process, that half a second is gone. See, we need to know how to learn how to embrace that intuition. For one, I want to start right there because we don't embrace it, we don't acknowledge it because we didn't put it there. We did not take that piece of whatever we love and put it in the refrigerator or in the cabinet. So therefore, we're not the owners of it, but we are. It's a internal hormonal type of feeling, and when we use it, it comes to us so strong to say, okay, you know what? My intuition tells me, is letting me know that a person, if say an example is a person comes up, one of my friends comes over to my house to visit me.
Mm-hmm.
She's really good at hiding her feelings. But my intuition already told me before she came over because I talked to her on the phone.
Wow.
Things are not going right.
Wow. Some
That
people
she's
have
in
intuition.
church.
So do all women have intuition?
Now, everyone is supposed to, but it is so greatly ignored that people say, well, everybody doesn't have it. Scientists say that everyone does. I disagree because if you ignore your intuition to the fullest, that means that pretty much you don't have it
Mm-hmm.
because you're ignoring it so much. The process of an intuition is so ignored and it's so fast. It happens so fast. You can be driving, like I said, before a person even gets to your house, you can feel it. And it's so ignored because we didn't put it there
Yeah.
that I cannot honestly say I agree with I don't I don't agree with the scientists. Scientifically speaking, yes. My personal opinion, no, because that's more like of a common sense type of thing. I compare it to common sense. I'm not saying that it is, but I'm comparing it to having common sense. To come into a home, if you are hungry and a person leaves you there and they say, take care of you, help yourself. What do? You call a person and say, hey, where'd you put the bread?
Right.
That's
Right.
the common sense. That's the common sense. You know what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't have that extra sense at all. So
Right.
if you have to call me instead of doing a search, that's what you call a search. You're supposed to do a common search. Go in the kitchen and you look. See, we have eyes, we have ears, we have a mouth, but that should be the last thing that we use all the time. Use this and you use this. Right? We have two of them, two ears, two eyes. That's the one we should use the most. But
Mm.
we don't do that either. We
So you
use this.
saying like, are you saying like, do females and men have
Yes,
intuition?
definitely, definitely. I am
Cause I
definitely
know
not.
I do be like that. Like somebody, like I could be like right there and somebody call my phone and I know who called in my phone. I could feel who
Mhm.
called in my phone before it rang. So do you think like when stuff like that happen, do you think we be actually like picking up on like the phone frequency and stuff like that?
That's something that's already instilled in us. That's our mind. That's that extra hormone that we have. That's that extra perception that we have. Okay, you perceive that when the phone rings, it's going to be a certain person because see, you already know you don't have that many people calling you. or either you might be thinking about that person. Right. I'm just saying. I mean that's when the intuitive kicks in between that's the difference between being intuitive and having a intuition. Having a intuition is a own. That's like a ownership. You own that. You own that extra sense because you were born with it. Everybody, you can't just develop it one day and say, I think I have that. No, you might have it and you might not because you don't ever use it. You don't know what it is. You don't want the knowledge to know
You don't
about
work
it.
with like people
Exactly.
don't work with it. You gotta I guess you gotta practice. You know what I'm saying? Practice
Well,
makes
you have to pay attention. You have to really pay attention to your body, listen to it, and it is your second mind. Actually, I call it your first mind because when we get to doing this races, but your gut is a feeling and it stays in you, but it comes to you inside of you, but it leaves. And it's so easily to be forgotten, like I said, because we didn't put it there. We don't look at it as something that's very significant, miraculous, or anything like that. We don't use it to our fullest ability to protect ourselves. We can have the wrong company, the wrong family member. You know already know that that person is what it is. Okay, if
so
you have a
what
person
about like
that
out and you like you sense danger like a spider sense? Is that intuition too?
a
Like you know
spider,
something like something about to happen, you could just tell. You ever been out and you could tell like you know what I'm saying, I need to move from here, or, you know what I'm saying, like it's time to go, and then you hear about oh the party got shot up when you left, or such and such. This will happen when you left. Is that intuition too?
oh my God, yes it is. Yes it is. It's a feeling. It's definitely a feeling. My sister years ago, my sister had called me when NBT was here in Milwaukee, and she said, "Mercy, come on out with us tonight." I told her, I said, "Steph, I don't feel comfortable because my gut is telling me that that place is just something that's gonna happen. I'm not comfortable with it. I'm staying at home." She called me at 11:30, 12 midnight and told me that the place had pretty much gotten knocked. The door was knocked down. It was shot up, and this one girl that was there, and it was this guy that was trying to get at this girl that he did not know, only because he did not talk to her. So it ended up with her being beaten to almost death. And you know what? That girl could have been me. If I had have went, the first thing that came to my mind, he would have came at me. And he was relentless. He was put out of the club. The security put him out. This man went outside. Oh, y'all gonna put me out? He shot the door down. And he got in saying, where is she at? Where is she? They hid her up under the table. Just imagine that. I'm so glad that I listened to my gut, my intuition. And it's so important for everyone to know this. This is for all human beings, not just a woman, but I mean, it's everybody has it, but it is mostly ignored by. I don't want to really just say men, but yes, it is. I'm going to say it, okay, because that's how I feel, and it is. It's mostly ignored by men. We need to really pick up and pay attention to how we feel. It can save our lives and it can save whomever life if we just pay attention. Slow down, slow our mind down, listen to our gut, our first mind, which is our gut, not our mind, which is the one that takes off, it races, it spins around, it's very easily distracted. But our gut, It comes and it can go if you let it, meaning if you don't pay attention. So the gut is very special. It's a
Yes.
blessing.
So, like men, I guess men are call it they gut because I hear people like men be like, "Oh, I got a gut feeling." You know what I'm saying? I hear women be like, "Oh, I got an intuition," but it's actually like the same thing. Huh?
Well, when women said, that's why I said men, I would say men, they are the ones that really does not pay more attention. And women, we use the word intuition because we go more deep into it. It's a spiritual thing with us. It's an extra thing with us inside of us. And most of us know that. With men, it's like, oh man, I have a feeling. I got a gut feeling. You're saying it, but are you really paying attention to how it's making you feel mentally or in your gut? Is it making you pause when you feel it? Are you really paying attention to it?
Mm-hmm.
Because mine's make me pause. I'd be like, hey, wait a minute. You know what? I know what it's going to be today, but I have to go ahead and let it be today, as long as it's not going to be life threatening. So I continued to go, I continued on this one occasion, okay? I'm going to say that. This one situation. And it came out that I was so right, as usual. I'm usually right all the time. Intuition is usually right majority of the time, and that's why it's called a feeling. And it is telepathy.
So you think like do some people have it like more than others like because
Yeah.
they with it more like you say like when you hear yours it make you stop. You think other people don't stop because it be like no it don't be that loud to them or they ignore it easy or you know what I'm saying like
because they're
uh,
using because they're going more off of a mental thing. They're
I,
going more off of a more. They let more of the desire and the temptation and everything else that's in front of them be a distraction. That's why I say I don't like to think with this all of the time. If it's not connected to my gut, I don't want this by itself. I want this and my stomach together. I
mhm.
want this and my intuition together.
So your
I
stomach is
want
like
that perception.
stomach is like another brain then yeah.
That it is not like it is totally a spiritual brain. It is a spiritual brain because
Are you
it's an extra sensory.
are you familiar with the term um uh right from wrong?
Oh yes.
Like you know what I'm saying, like right from wrong, like common sense. Like do you think that got to do with intuition too?
No.
Like somebody to like somebody like Jeffrey Dahmer or something. You think they lacking intuition?
No.
You know what I'm saying? That don't got nothing to do with that.
Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer. My opinion on that right there.
So
He
right
had,
from wrong,
yeah,
I
like I said,
have
everyone
intuition,
has
right?
it. Okay,
Right from wrong, like I know.
with him, it had nothing to do with right from wrong in his mind. In his mind, doing the wrong thing was right. So we talking about something else right there. He was totally. I mean, that's what you call a functional person that is insane.
So
So
do you call that person like lacking intuition? Cause you know how you send your
uh,
kid outside and you be like, right from wrong, don't go in that street, like you know what I'm saying, like you know what I'm saying, and they be like,
no,
yeah, I
no,
know,
it's total different situations. When you're in the dark, you might as well not have an intuition. when you are in the dark and you let, if the darkness has overcome you, I've been in the dark many times, but it never did overcome me. That's like another saying, oh well, as long as I can fall, as long as I'm able to get up, that's all that matters. Okay, if a child goes out in the street, they know right from wrong. But really, do they? How old are they? If a 2 year old sees a ball, her ball go, her he or she, their ball goes into the street. They chase behind it. What you call that? That's a 2 year old right there. That has nothing to do with intuition. That is the mind focused on one thing and getting one thing. When Jeffrey Dahmer went out there, he was focused. He woke up focused. He went out there focused to prey on others. That was his intuition. He used the hell out of it. He had a miraculous amount of intuition.
So
That's
some
what he had to use in order to
have
get
got it.
people informed. Intuition, manipulation, and everything else. You had to
So
feel.
so so
You
with
had
that being
to feel
said, with
another
everything
person.
you just said, with intuition, like intuition, do intuition and manipulation go hand in hand? Like if you know how to work
No.
your intuition real good, can you manipulate people?
Well, yes, you can. If you can feel what another person is going through, you know what? You can manipulate them. You can tell them about your intuition, and then you can go ahead and manipulate the whole situation as far as what intuition is. It all depends on who you're talking to. Now, if you're talking to me, I'm going to look at you and say, okay, we're not talking no more because I already know what you're doing. A lot of people just don't know. They know right
So
from
a lot
wrong,
of
but on
people,
that, they don't know.
so some people have so much intuition that they try to be slick with it.
You know what? They can manipulate the situation. They can manipulate the situation, and just like lawyers do, just like you know, many people do. Salespeople. I mean, okay, you see a person that's all dressed up wearing name brand. First, if you're selling something, first thing you're gonna do is go to them. I don't care what color you are. The shoes can look regular, but you know how much they really cost. You see the purse. So yeah, I'm coming to you. I'm not going to go to the person that has a t-shirt and the blue jeans on. If you're smart, you're going to go to them though. Okay. If you're smart, I'm a very intuitive person. I'm smart. I consider myself to be smart. So I'm going to go to the person with the t-shirt and the jeans because that means that they've been saving, they got money. So you know what? The person that feels like their intuition that they're preying on them and they're using it in the wrong way, that's not what it's about. That's not what having the intuition is about. That's manipulating others and manipulating yourself and the situation. So you go to the person that has the name brand stuff, and then they say, okay, no, I'm good. I'm good because they can get that as a knockoff. They can get that cheaper in the street, or either they're going to definitely bargain with you. See, me, I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna go to the person with the blue jeans and with the t-shirt on. Number one, like I said, you can tell that they've been saving. They don't splurge, and I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to have respect. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to shake their hand. And I'm going to explain everything with a free mind and let them know what it is instead of manipulating them. One thing that a person does not like is for their intelligence to be shot down. So a flashy person, to me, they're always distracted because their mind is always thinking about pretty things and what they're going to get. So they don't want to deal with a person that's going to sell them anything anyway. The first thing they're going to say is, I'm going to bring them down. I'm going to bring them down because you're going to come to them with a manipulation that is financial, a manipulating mind. Doesn't work. Yes, everybody does know right from wrong. You learn that when you at least 1 or 2 years old.
Mm. That's good information, man. That's good. Very, very good information for the people. If y'all just now tuning in, we want y'all to like to the program. You know what I'm saying? We want y'all to like the platform, subscribe to the channel, YouTube channel. We trying to get it grown. Um, my guest right here, Marcella Shaw, she's gonna be talking about intuition with both male and female, uh, both genders,
But I
as I
cannot speak for a man, but I can only go off of what I know. But I cannot speak for, I'm not trying to ever speak for a man, but I'm going to give my opinion. I just want to clear that and put that in the clear.
men
So
men need
when,
to use their intuition more with women.
huh?
I said I think men need to use their intuition more with women. I feel like man,
Exactly.
we be knowing like the girl ain't no good, but we sometimes they just be listening to they little brain sometimes.
Exactly.
With intuition
Exactly.
tell you should run. It be a couple of signs that'll tell you like, oh yeah, boy, brother, you should get up and leave.
Run.
Yeah,
Exactly.
don't listen to it.
Everybody around you could tell you need to get up and run. You still gonna sit there. And
Still going.
that's what we call just wanting to be validated. It's a void there going on there or something. But in women, we do the same thing. We see narcissism and it's like, okay, I smell the roses. At times it's like that, you
Okay,
know?
let me ask you this. Is it possible for like mates to be on the same line as intuition? You know how some relationships you be together so long you can finish each other's sentences, or sometimes you know what each other thinking. Um,
Yes.
is that like intuition from being together so long that now y'all they kind of like syncing together?
That's so true. That is, yes. Well, you can be intuitive and have an open mind and be rational, live together for so long, 5, 10 years, and say, oh, I love that question. I love this question. And say, okay, yeah, we finish each other's sentences. We finish each other dinner together. But do you really know each other? You have a feeling. Okay, my intuition on this person, I know where he's at. I know what he's doing because you can feel it. Now that's a connection. That's a connection. A man can have that connection just as strong. Actually, like the oxytocin that we have in us, the higher level, the oxytocin is what you call a love potion, y'all. Okay, it's what people back in the days would say. Y'all got that love potion going on because it's actually like a real love potion. You gotta have sex in order. I mean, you gotta have sex in order to release it, onto one another. So, love potion, oxytocin. Read about it because it is so important to learn how to control it. It is the most emotional part of us. Okay, we go back to, living together, knowing each other and stuff like that. And does that grow, make us have an intuition bond? Maybe, maybe not. Because I've seen too many real documentaries and I experienced this myself with a man or a woman having a double life, but I experienced it, okay? And as many documentaries that say, okay, this couple was married for 10 years, but he had a whole nother wife in a whole nother state, or maybe she was even around the corner sharing the same zip code. Oh my God. Why didn't the intuition kick in? Let's go back to what I said before. What I said before is that intuition is something that is given to us. We didn't give it to ourselves. So therefore, we are most likely to ignore it. This person has his own house, his own family, own kids, just like he does with you. Why in the hell didn't we pick up on it? Even if You done been together forever. So that doesn't mean that you know each other
Mm-hmm.
110%. Not unless you are dwelling so deep spiritually. That's the only type of bond that can be trustworthy. If it is a spiritual connection. If you don't have that, intuition means nothing.
So like with your mate, do you like from like physical contact, do that make y'all connect more?
Yes, definitely.
All right,
That's when the oxytocin comes in.
the oxytocin, because you know, like for some like marriages, marriages like they get married and then the husband got to go fight in a war. Some wives report like they already know when something happens to their husband. That got to do with
The
like
audio's kind of in
before
and
the
out.
soldiers even come to their door, they already know like they spouse gonna die and stuff.
The audio was kind of in and out. I didn't hear it clearly.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
I said the like women that like they husbands go overseas to fight like in the war.
Yes.
And the you know what I'm saying, they can tell like if the husband died before the people come tell them. Is that like do that have a
That
lot to do with
that's
intuition?
yes, definitely, definitely, and it happens lots. They already know. Like I used to work in hospice, and before when it's like I'm driving to work, and I pull into the parking lot, and I said, "Damn!" As soon as I get in, I already my intuition is already it's a feeling. I'm saying, I know it's gonna happen on my shift. Okay, nobody wants to deal with that, but it's a part of me that likes to nurture. Okay, it's a big part of me that loves to nurture. So every time I would walk in, I would get that code. It's on your shift. So yes, that's an intuition. All of that is a feeling because you don't know. You don't know it. You can't see it. You can't see the intuition. Some people now. I'm not going. I'm just stay on this subject, but to go further is something else. And I'll just wait if you ask me. But yes, that's the intuition.
Okay. What about like the old people like you at your granny house down south and she be like, "Oh, the storm coming. Like y'all better come in the house," and you know what I'm saying? Like you don't see nothing. Like how they be knowing that?
Because they listen. They're older. They're wiser. You can't read wisdom. You gotta live it. They're wiser. They know how to listen to their intuition. They know how to listen to their gut. They know that their gut is their first mind, and so you know what? That's what you're supposed to go off of. That's why. That's how. It's an extra perception hormone, or it's an extra hormone perception that you have that dwells inside of you. It's a sixth sense. We all have that five. We all don't have that six.
So do you say icon for this? Do you think like so the when the birds fly south with the nature, like that's nature's intuition, like you know what I'm saying? Like you could tap into like nature's intuition too.
Yes, yes, definitely. Nobody is telling them, so they have a feeling. It's their receptors that lets them know when Mother Nature decides to do what she's going to do and what direction to go in. It's that they have that extra sensory receptor. And you know what? That extra sensory receptor is so important for everyone to have. But see, they have no other choice but to pay attention to it.
Yeah, so they say we are born with that, but we just stop paying attention to
Exactly. Exactly. And it's very
it.
important to pay attention to.
Okay, man, we got somebody said this is so deep. Like they said this is so deep. They liking the conversation. They liking what you saying, man. I want to thank you for coming on here
Thank you.
and
You're
thank
welcome. It's
everybody
my pleasure.
for listening, man. I'm gonna leave with the message like with like babies, like the intuition. Like when you know your baby hungry and stuff like that, like that got a lot to do with intuition too, though.
Well, it has lots to do with being intuitive. You have to be rational, have an open mind, pay attention. If you don't pay attention, like I said, that's what you call self-seeking. You pay attention. You already know that the baby needs to eat every 2 to 3 hours, depending on the age, depending on what you already fed them. That's pretty much common sense. The baby is wet. The baby is crying because the baby is wet. The baby has had a bowel movement. So therefore, you already know that that empty stomach is going to lead to being hungry. So you have to
It's
pay
funny.
attention.
I think babies got a language like that. Google Gaga. I think that'd be an actual language, and I think what I'm
Definitely.
saying. Like out of time, they get to learn in our language when we need to get to learn theirs. I think we be doing it backwards. They just get tired after so long. Like, okay, well, this motherfucker don't understand me, so let me get to try
Exactly.
to talk
Thank
like
you.
them.
Exactly.
Let me say
And
what
there
and
is
huh and try to
communication with them.
communicate
There
with
is.
them because I see they ain't trying to communicate with me. So let me learn how to communicate their language because
That's the intuition.
you know what I'm saying. I think the
And that's
baby
the
language is
intuition.
way more better than the English language. They say the English language got so many curses and spells in it. I think we'd be better off talking the baby language. I think you can
But
master that Google Gaga if you really understood it.
when if you just hear it, it's gonna sound like Google Gaga. But if you have the baby right there and you're looking in the child's eyes,
It's telepathy.
you are able to you are able to connect spiritually and feel something. You feel it. It is truly a feeling. I know I'm not the only person. It's many thousands of people out here that knows how to connect with baby and animals with their mind and their eyes. You just do it, and it's a feeling, and you just stare at them. You figure it out, and the babies they try to talk. They only have that one voice, so whatever comes out is fine with me. Whether it's a cry, a scream, whatever. But you have different cries. You have different cries, meaning discomfort, pain, and happiness. Okay, because babies do cry when they're happy, excited, because they want to get up and do stuff that they cannot do. That's what you're talking about as far as communication. People don't understand babies. Babies want to do the same thing that we do. That's how intelligent that they are.
I think they just
Their
on
intuition
high
is much
vibration.
stronger.
Yeah, I think they just like on a high vibration than us. We, you know what I'm saying? We on such of a low vibration that we don't understand it.
Exactly. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
telecommunications. Now, when you have that, that's more of being able to relate to majority of anyone. When you pay attention to a person's body language, their expressions, and the sentences that they say. I'm not going to say the things that they say. When a person uses a sentence and they say, "Okay, we're going to the store," and you say, "Huh? You need to ask me." or versus to I'm going to the store. Okay, that's fine. But when you say, "Hey, we're going to the store," it means a lot. With that now, that is a sentence, but it's an incomplete sentence to me because you didn't ask me.
Right. Right.
So when a person says something, it's very good to listen to that one sentence to see if they're saying he or she, us, we, I. It's all important. Me. You know, ownership is my. I. You two have too many eyes in the conversation. It's like, okay, I think you're a little bit selfish. It's about me, me, me. I do this, I do that. With a child crying, that's something that we all came out doing. So I don't know where people get this myth from, thinking that men are not supposed to cry. I heard a guy tell a little boy about 2 3 years old, "Come on, man, don't cry. Men don't cry." I said, "Let me shut up," because that was the first voice that we got a chance to use. Thank God.
Right. Right.
So why not practice it sometimes when you need to? I just want to say that out, okay? I want to get out the subject.
Right. You right. You right.
Just to
Somebody
say,
said,
what, it's not much. We men and women are two different species, but we both have that intuition, and we are very both intuitive people, but we are very, very different human beings.
you right. You right. Right. Well, somebody said, "Wow, you have to want to do it for sure." That's amazing. That's amazing.
They
Yeah.
said what?
Wow, you have to want to do it for sure. That's amazing. That's amazing. Somebody said that.
Definitely.
Probably was talking about something you said a couple of minutes before. But yeah, we got a
I
couple.
wish I could see the comments.
You can't see them. It's just a couple people commenting. They said that's funny when you said something funny, and they just agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
Lynn Walker said, "Good morning, good morning, my brother."
Good
Yep.
morning, Lynn.
On the show, DM me, man. Open minds, like and share our for the platform to grow, please. If
Please.
anybody liked it, anything that my guest said today, you know what I'm saying, y'all want to support the Cash App right there. You can support $1, anything, you know what I'm saying? Anything helps the platform grow. Um, with that being said, you got any last words for the people?
Yes, I do. Um, in this world now, we have more corruption, we have more hate, we have a lack of understanding with one another because it starts with ourselves. I just want to say this is that I understand everybody is going through something. Everybody is. That does not mean that yours is more important than the other person's. That does not mean that the other person's is less insignificant, is less important to yours, okay? All of our problems and issues are very important. But when you get upset and you are upset about something, someone, please do not go out and take it out on another person because their situation just may be worse than yours.
All right.
Don't argue with folks. You know why? Because both of you losing. Everybody is going to lose when you are arguing. You're going to end up on Fox 6, 12, 24, 58, whatever channel that exists. It's not going to be it's not going to be good. And always hold yourself accountable for your actions. You know how to walk away. I'm not saying, oh well, let somebody come punch you in your jaw and then be okay with it. No, protect yourself. But if somebody make you mad and you feel like your ego has been touched, women, I'm talking to you too because we all have egos. Sometimes program your mind before you go outside, refuel. Some people say, oh, get prayed up. Get prayed up, but remember to refuel yourself and program your mind before you go out here in the world to pay attention. Be very selective. Be selective to what you are going to absorb. Be very selective on what you're going to act out on. Be very selective as far as what's going to come up off your tongue. Don't let nobody get up in here. Be very selective and be very humble because I want my freedom, and I'm pretty sure you do too. At the end of the day, we all want to be okay. So let's try to be okay.
Whew, that was some very powerful words right there, y'all. That was
Thank
great.
you. Thank
That,
you,
that was
Antoine.
good, Lefty.
Thank you.
Good knowledge, man. That was good right there. Now, if anybody got some questions right now for Marcella Shaw, put them in the chat. I'll bring them to the front, and you can ask your own question. You know what I'm saying? Let her know, or y'all can show her some love, some support. Somebody said, "Good morning, Marcella Shaw." Lynn Walker, that might be somebody one of your followers or something.
Yes. Good morning, Lynn. I hope all is well with you.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions right now? Put them in the chat. We gonna ask the goddess before she leave. We for sure gonna get you back on here to talk about some different subjects.
I'll be more than happy.
This one was way better than what I expected.
Okay.
It was way better. I just had a certain expectation and we just went beyond that.
Mm,
So
okay.
it was excellent to me, man. And I think some real knowledge was said. You know what I'm saying? I think some people really can get something out of this message today,
I truly hope so. I hope so.
especially what you just said, man. They need to yeah, I think I'm gonna chop that up and make a reel after this.
Okay, sounds good. I am so happy that you reached out to me, Antoine. I appreciate you for having me today. I really do.
Okay. Everybody like and subscribe to the channel, man. Thank you for
Thanks
being on the
for
show today.
everyone. Thank
Y'all listen to time, man. Thank everybody for supporting. That was open minds. We out.